All right. So now we have Ivan here, the guy who used to kick it here in Tallinn, who used to be the badass guy here in Estonia. Unfortunately or fortunately, he now left here. So now he's no longer in Estonia, and he moved to Canada to do what he always loved. And he actually started it. The first business that he started was Amazon supplements business, and he's also expanding. And I guess there's gonna be the episode today. We're gonna me and Ante, we're gonna interview Ivan. Ivan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, guys. Yeah, to be honest, I would like to mention that it's not really my first business here in Canada. I moved like almost 1 year ago, last December, and actually I did try dropshipping one more time here in Canada with different variables that I tried before being in Estonia. But yeah, now I started a solid thing, I would say. Now I can say that I'm an Amazon seller. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
How much money did you lose or did you set on fire before starting making it rolling? Because you said that you tried this drop shipping. How much money did you lose on the journey?
Oh, okay. I don't really remember my expenses for that try. Well, my total expenses for dropshipping, I would say it's a couple of thousand of euros. Yeah, it didn't really work out, so it's kind of like total loss. But for Amazon, actually, surprisingly for me, I don't know. I don't know if I planned it well or what was like done in the right way, but actually I started really well with the very first product that I launched. So basically, as of now, I have like four products in the same niche. And yeah, so my first product, it wasn't even like a flagman, I would say. So it was like a test of the market just to see how it goes because I had my own vision in terms of like product design, product like marketing angle, and this kind of stuff. So I decided to try it. And basically, my first product was, let's say, in terms of like profit, it was on the low end. So I didn't really make a lot from the first product. But it kind of showed me that, okay, so that's the real thing. It can work. It works. Basically, people are buying. And yeah, so that's how it all started.
Well, Ante, did you ever try drop shipping?
Yeah. No, actually, I wanted to ask you, Ivan. Okay, so I actually don't really know what drop shipping is. I will try to say my understanding. So I guess that's when you basically resell somebody else's products online without handling the warehousing or handling the items themselves, right? That's drop shipping.
Yeah, that's actually the whole idea of dropshipping is around the thing that you don't work with inventory at all. So basically,
Yeah.
you don't see the product itself. You definitely can get it in terms of like, let's say, marketing things, right, to create some content and stuff. But actually, to be honest, it's kind of deep thing. So shipping is not only about selling things. It's in my personal opinion, it's more even probably about marketing, how you would present this product on the market, right? What marketing angle you will use. And basically, so if you're starting your dropshipping thing, no one knows about you, right? So it's kind of like you're in the middle of nowhere, like any random web page with a product. No one heard about you. You don't have any customers, no audience, nothing. So you just need to start from scratch, and that's why I'm saying marketing is highly important in this
Yeah.
sense because you need to definitely you have the only, in my personal opinion, you have the only one option to run ads, paid
Mhm.
ads, if it's gonna be like Meta ads or any other platforms. But yeah, you can also try organic content. It wasn't an option for me personally because it takes a while, I would say. And yeah, that's mainly what dropshipping is. And basically, you're not doing anything new. That's in my personal opinion, that's the key, right? So you're not creating anything. You're just suggesting this product from a different angle. Let's say, like, I don't know, like people didn't use any random product you can think of with
Classic.
different tasks, let's say, right? Different utilizations. And in this sense, you can simply suggest this different way of using this product and kind of market it from this perspective. But again, you're not creating anything. You're basically relying on supplies from China. And yeah.
And you said that you first tried drop shipping and that didn't really work out, and then you moved on to having an Amazon store, and it kind of kicked off. So what did you do differently in the Amazon store? How does it differ from the business model of drop shipping?
All right. Actually, for Amazon, well, in this sense, I changed a couple of variables, I would say. So, well, first variable, it wasn't like already produced product. So I decided to start my own production. So, it was my own brand, and it's not even like private label when you're like importing the product and then giving it like your brand name and this kind of stuff. No, so it's like your own production and you're selling your product. And that's variable number one that I changed basically. So I'm not buying this product anymore. So I'm kind of adjusting the product to customers' needs, right? To see this gap and demand on the market. That's first. And second, definitely it's like marketplace, right? So I'm not selling I'm not just selling one brand, one store in the middle of nowhere, in the space of internet. I just sell it on the marketplace. So the huge difference. So just imagine this kind of difference when you watch your video on YouTube or this kind of stuff, right? Or scrolling Instagram Reels, and you have this like video ads asking you to buy something, and probably you will buy, probably not, right? Because you didn't have this intent to buy before seeing this ad. But what's the main difference with marketplace? For sure that people who are there, they already have this like
Intention. Yeah.
intention, right?
Actually,
So the likelihood of buying the product is highly like is extreme. And yeah, the only thing they need to choose to select your product. That's another story. But yeah, so you will definitely be selling on Amazon. Again, giving decent competitors products, decent, let's say, your design and like all these variables that you would have in your product, like price, like visuals, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I would say I changed a couple of things. So yeah, somehow made it working.
but if I may, you were doing drop shipping, you were losing money, it wasn't working. And what was the moment, the time? Was it a YouTube video? Was the podcast? What happened the moment? Okay, now I'm doing FBA because first of all, I think it's a supplement, and in the supplement, it's super regulated, super competitive. And what made that change? Like, was it like you can get the audience? Because I guess Amazon also takes a cut because they bring the audience, they bring the buyers, but they also take a cut, right? There's so many. What was going through your brain when you made the switch, and were you comfortable in doing that? Because you have now, the thing is you have to import the shit, import the product, make it on your own. That's like extra work. How did you feel so comfortable in all doing that?
Yeah. Well, for me personally, it doesn't really, it's not important at all. I would say what model to pick. The most importantly, it should be working, right? So that's the key. So yeah, definitely you will be paying a lot in terms of like fees and all this like side costs only because of Amazon, because of FBA, because Amazon has your inventory, they fulfill your orders, so you don't really need to do anything. You simply need to ship your product to Amazon warehouse in bulk, and they will basically deliver it to end customers. But what was it that I saw in the beginning? Yeah. I'm not sure, actually. I heard about Amazon FBA, but I didn't really know a lot about it. I knew that you can start selling on Amazon, but again, I didn't have a clear understanding like what what I could actually sell, right? Because to be honest, it's huge. That's number one actually in the US in terms of like marketplaces. Number two, probably Walmart. But yeah, it's like the difference in terms of like daily visitors and sales is huge. So Amazon is still number one. And a lot of competitors, a lot of competition in general. And yeah, so I basically saw, you know, if you do drop shipping, definitely your YouTube feed will be full of any kind of different things related to e-commerce, to selling online, to doing some things, to marketing. And yeah, so randomly I saw one video about FBA. I just added it to my watch list and I was like, FBA, I have no idea what is that. So yeah, I watched that video after a couple of, I think, months. And yeah, so I shaped the understanding that it's actually pretty good model in terms of like handling your let's say orders, right? Your sales. So basically it's in terms of like doing business, I would say it's similar to dropshipping because again, Amazon does it on your behalf, right? So if we speak about FBA model, so yeah, you basically don't do any. You can, for sure, you can fulfill your own orders, but I don't really think it's a good idea if you have like 20, 50, 100 orders, small orders per day. That's crazy. So yeah, that's how it was.
when you try dropshipping or like FBA? Because it requires a upfront work, right? Upfront work. You have to do the work before.
To me, I mean, it sounds complicated. I guess I just don't know so much about it, but it sounds like a lot of logistics have to be planned through, before you start actually selling the product. Maybe I'm curious how, when it comes to choosing the product you're gonna sell, I think a lot of people are breaking their minds about, what products they're gonna choose and thinking that it's gonna determine if they're gonna be successful or not. So what do you actually think about choosing the product? What was your process and how important is actually choosing the product?
Yeah, for sure. That's I would say important because definitely a lot of products on Amazon, a lot of competition. And in my personal opinion, sometimes it's highly unlikely that you will be able to get into this market to just to sell something, at least 50 sales per month. Yeah, because some niches they already have well developed brands, well developed listings with tons of reviews, like 10K reviews, 20K reviews. Just imagine your listing will be there tomorrow and the customer is simply like opening this web page and see your listing, even if you're advertising it with like 5 reviews or 25 reviews, and the next one with 20K reviews. I mean, that's hilarious. That's hilarious, right? So it's practically impossible. So in the beginning, I didn't really have the idea of what I will be selling, but I was kind of deep in the wellness, health and wellness field, health and wellness niche. I know a lot about supplements. Let's start from
So
this
it's your
from
personal interest.
yeah. So you know what? Actually, that's kind of a division in general in this kind of line of thought about business. So basically, it's hard to find something that you wouldn't be buying, right? If you're not you can't really shape the exact avatar of your potential audience. Only if you in case if you are this kind of audience, then you can see this kind of gap on the market, right? So I found this gap exactly in my niche, in my product. So I found out that it's kind of new, it was booming, but definitely it could be way, way better if I could start it earlier. because trend started a couple of months before I started. So well, yeah, in general, I started trying. So I'm kind of like, have this, I'm not sure how to put it better, but probably kind of scientific testing mind. So I always like testing new stuff, like in terms of like supplements, how it works. Yeah, so I decided to get some new things. And when I ordered it from Amazon, I saw like what the hell, it had really, really poor packaging, and it had really poor like everything was so like, I mean, I didn't have this, let's say, feeling of like this is a reliable brand and I
Yeah.
can safely ingest it and this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh wow, okay, so it seems like, but definitely I did that. I tried that for
Mm.
sure, and I found that it's working really well. And I mean the let's say supplement, the compound itself, but yeah. So I decided, okay, so three. Not a lot of actually competitors, and your products look simply ugly. And I'm like, okay, so probably I can try fixing some things and
Yeah.
we'll see how it works. So I was like, okay, let's try. And then I did like a simple math. And then I was like, okay, so it's like it seems like it's totally doable. Why wouldn't try? So yeah, that's how it started basically. So yeah, only because I was kind of it's still so like deep kind of like it's not like creatine for sure. It's not like the most popular supplements. It's very very niche even in terms of like supplements. More I would say more biohacking and stuff. So yeah, it's still
Well,
not that popular, I would say.
that sounds like the thing that actually gave you a chance to grow because, as you said, if you're selling a popular supplement and one vendor has 20,000 reviews and you have five, the customer is always going to go for the one with 20,000 reviews. Unless the product is very niche, there's only a couple of sellers, then they might give you a chance.
Unless you did something better than the seller did with 20K reviews, right? Probably you did branding, labeling, something is better. Probably again added a bit of angle. So because again you can present magnesium as anti-stress, or you can kind of suggest magnesium as a sleep supplement too. You can suggest magnesium for people who work out, right? Because it's necessary in terms of like your body and stuff. Yeah, a lot of angles. So you can basically put everything on your product label and it will be reflected. So your audience will go with your product, right? So yeah, yeah, a lot of variables actually here.
So Ivan, to kind of understand, because you were initially saying that this Amazon is basically a search and you have to compete there, and your competition or how you won the competition was you found an upcoming trend in the sector you understood, and also a better product, right? You invest a lot of time in you because you keep mentioning reviews. Is that an important factor if you're having a great product and great reviews? And how do you get reviews if you're brand new? Because there's many people don't even know how would you get new reviews and good reviews as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, definitely it was my kind of discovery. So even if your product has no reviews, zero reviews, like actually if we go to Amazon webpage, like if we will search for, let's say, magnesium or creatine, and if we find listing with zero reviews, it looks way different. So it looks less appealing simply to click on this listing. And I was so shocked when I basically listed my product and I started getting sales without any reviews. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So I just need to highlight that it was like highly, say, trendy niche, right? My
Oh.
competitors had maximum, as far as I remember, 200 reviews, 178 or something like that. So one brand was really well represented in terms of like number of products, number of sales, and this kind of stuff. But still, many of products had like 20 reviews, 15 reviews. And actually, for my product, I'm kind of grateful in the sense that Amazon has the Amazon Wine program. That's a specifically dedicated program to get like initial reviews. So they basically allow you to give away your product for free to 30 potential customers, and they will leave independent reviews about your product. So yeah, that's how it works. I definitely enrolled to this program, and yeah, in this way I got my very first reviews with pictures. Yeah, for some people it's more like important to have like pictures and stuff, not only like text reviews. So yeah, it helped a lot.
That's interesting. Well, yeah, I understand why people might want pictures. It just gives a bit more credibility, I feel. When I see reviews, I always think that they're written by AI or bots. When I see taking a picture of the product that arrived, it gives more credibility, and you can actually see how the product looks when it arrives, as opposed to the polished pictures on Amazon.
Exactly, exactly. To be honest, I would mention one more thing. So Amazon is quite strict in terms of like product pictures. So you won't be able to put like any lifestyle. Oh, okay. For lifestyle, probably it's still kind of okay to integrate it in your like additional pictures of your listing, but your main picture should be absolutely plain with white background. That's crazy. Yeah, so if you go to Amazon, you will see like sometimes you still can add some features to your product. If it's like supplements, you can simply like put a picture of your like bottle of supplements and a couple of capsules if it's about capsules, right? Like right near the bottle, and that's pretty much it. You can do anything with your background. So that's the main picture. In this sense, all the listings are kind of same,
That's
but still dress different ways, let's say, of kind of adjusting your product pictures, product images. But in general, yeah, talking about AI and reviews, actually for Amazon reviews as well, I found out that they regulate it quite strictly in terms of like natural reviews and this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's how Amazon
the
works. So
yeah.
probably you won't see a lot of like AI generated things there.
And as a business owner on now reviews, what's a what's a bad and good review? For example, what's your average review? Is anything a 4.5 and above? What's the psychology? Because I don't think people will buy a review that's an average 3, right? Like,
Yeah, I would say definitely, definitely. And well, the thing it's kind of tricky. Okay, again,
yeah.
depending on a lot of variables here. So first of all, if there is only one product of a kind in this category with this, like let's say formulation, let's say if you're looking for a dosage, 50 milligrams per capsule, there is nothing similar with this dosage. So they will purchase your product even if it has like 3.5 stars review. If you have competitors with same kind of formulations, same dosages, and this kind of stuff, then definitely a user will prefer with more reviews and better reviews. So for my products, I actually had all of my products listings had like 4.1. It was my minimum. It was my minimum.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for some listings, I had 4.7. So it's kind of crazy, I would even say. But yeah, yeah.
and you sorry to interrupt. You said that these are all like manufactured by you, like you produce them on your own and
Yep.
then ship it to Amazon.
Yep.
How's the workflow? How much manual labor do you have? How much work is it? Because I guess it was hard. You coming from Eastern Europe, Estonia, going there and doing a lot of work. Like, did you have to buy machines and stuff or no?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely. We would need to purchase some inventory for that purpose and hire some labor. But again, it's manageable. And in my case, for trial, I didn't really like, let's say, for test batch, I didn't really spend a lot on that. So my test batch basically helped me to test everything. So I tested everything. After that, I saw, okay, it works. So we can spend some more money to see what the feedback will be. So as I mentioned, I started with only one product that helped me to test it. And then I launched three more. So it's like three more variations of same kind of product. So in this sense, yes, for sure, you will need to constantly develop in this field of kind of optimizing your manufacturing, optimizing your different things. And as always, you need to come up with new ideas and new kind of, like it's constant process of bettering this thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's probably a lot of learnings that you get by, your own mistakes. That's how I feel like it is. I mean, you can watch so many videos online, but once you actually get into it, then learn for real what to do actually here.
For sure, for sure. Actually, yeah,
What are
go
the
ahead.
skills? Sorry, what are the skills that you learned? Because I'm curious now to know. Because the Ante mentioned learning.
Oh.
Like, what are you learning?
Oh yeah, that's great. Well, I'm not really sure how to name this kind of skills because it's mostly about skill sets, right? It's not only one skill that you will use like for one specific purpose. It's kind of skill set. Starting from even like engineering, I would say, starting from engineering to like chemistry in this case, because we are working with supplements. And at the same time, as Ante before mentioned, it's about logistics. So you need to find a workaround with all the suppliers that will work with you. So you need to find a specific like good supplies and suppliers in your region, because to be honest, in Canada, for my personal brand needs, I would say more definitely good suppliers are in the US. It's not a big deal here because we are close. I can order right from the US. And yeah, so that's kind of like a skill sets, right? And at the same time, you need to manage your Amazon sellers central. That's your like Amazon basically account where you can see your inventory. Oh yeah, for sure, inventory. You need to manage your inventory to see if one of your listings is running out of inventory. So you need to send some more products to Amazon, and it always takes time because delivery and then Amazon will process your basically products. It takes, let's say, from 3 days to a week, sometimes 2 weeks. So you just need to think really to plan really well all these steps ahead. So yeah, that's about skill sets, I would say. And for sure, constant learning. I'm a big fan actually of this kind of approach because I think you need to discover some things that you missed before. For example, Amazon has their own specific way of ads. You don't have this kind of ads anywhere, I believe, besides like marketplaces. So it's called Amazon PPC. And I was running ads for a couple of months. So far, so good. I was quite happy with results. And then I found out that I had a course on Udemy and I didn't finish this course ads blog. So I decided to get back to it. I watched some basically courses, some lessons, whatever. And I found out that I can launch some more additional ad categories, ad groups. I did that, and right away, I was like getting way more sales from categories I didn't know about, like even existence of this kind of ads. So that's why I'm a big fan of learning all the time. So still, even if you know your product well, I think that's a must. You have to know your product well, right? You have to know all the like different, not really variations, but different implications for different small things. So yeah, that's always about learning. You definitely won't be able to answer all the questions before starting. you will learn in the process. And by the way, I'm also a big fan of like doing everything on a way, let's say, right? So when when you have the idea from the concept to the exact implication, starting the business, right, or starting selling on Amazon and stuff, you definitely don't know a lot, right? So I think you will need to learn a lot of things in this process. And that's why it's cool. So for me personally, I love it.
So what do you think so far? Are you impressed? Are you gonna start dropshipping and or FBA right away after this call? No.
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking if you after this call are you gonna say
Okay, so I think Ivan is onto something here. And I mean, he identified a good niche at the right moment. He was, brave enough to get it started, because I think also a lot of people think, oh, who's gonna do, selling stuff on Amazon is just too much work. So he's broken through this initial wall. And also, I think it's beneficial that he is located in Canada, which is close to the US, and US is a big market. So there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle here that are quite well positioned, for this to work. So maybe even I don't know how long we're gonna keep this video going, but as a final thing for me, how do you see the continuation of this store? How do you plan to scale? Do you plan to scale any new products you want to launch, or any plans for the future?
do you plan I'm sorry. I will add to this same question, or do you plan scale and exit and sell it?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't actually exit and sell it. Not sure why, but it seems to me that it's still kind of opportunity just to keep it going, and yeah, um, definitely I have like long-term vision for this kind of brand and this kind of niche. So definitely for scaling, I started only on Amazon in Canada, right? It's only Canadian market.
Okay.
No US, no EU, nothing. So definitely, I already have some plans to expand. Probably that's not the best thing to do right away because of like bureaucracy and import export stuff. But I was thinking about expanding to Europe at first
Europe.
before going to the US. Yeah, because actually American market for this kind of product is already kind of huge in terms of like competitors and their reviews. So let's say my competitors in the US, some of them have 10K reviews. Their products have 10K reviews. That's a lot. That's huge. And I went through German market and it's still kind of growing. So I still can start there easily. I could start there 5 months ago with no problem. Now it's kind of the same. So yeah, I would prefer scaling to Europe first. It would be the most popular, the most populated European countries, I guess. Yeah. So starting from Germany, with Germany, France, and Spain, and then we'll see probably because again, in terms of like export, it's easy to start with the US, right? It's close, it's faster, way faster because again, European bureaucracy, it's not the good thing that, you know, doesn't really work well in terms of like business and
No.
all this processes. Hearing a lot of complaints about that, but that's true actually. So yeah, probably it would be way faster to start in the US, but we'll see. We'll see. For now, we are still growing for sure.
Thank you. And the final question before, so new products, you're gonna go new products, new places, and our podcast is also geared to young people, wanna be entrepreneurs, like who want to get inspiration from you, from us, and me, like everyone. And if somebody had $5,000, $10,000, would you still suggest them? And if they have an idea product, you still suggest them to start FBA and keep hustling, or get a 9 to 5 job and till they die, continue doing the 9 to 5 job?
Well,
Uh,
basically, it seems like you already answered your question, but at the same time, well, I think
what advice?
yeah, I think actually you sometimes you don't even need like 10K dollars or euros to start. I personally started with probably 2K of Canadian dollars. It was okay, not two. Okay, yeah, I had some additional expenses costs too, but okay, well, it was still under 10K. Let's put it in this way. And the thing is that definitely I would say you need to be in the process of constant searching for good opportunities, and you need to test it right away. That's a huge thing. Sometimes people have a lot of ideas, like literally their head is full of ideas. They can write it down, think about them, but between idea and actually action or product or service you're going to be delivering should be a set of actions, right? Well, a lot of people just miss that. They don't test, they don't try, and don't actually do anything. You simply, because actually it sounds good in terms of like, sounds really beautiful in terms of like explaining your results and stuff. But between your idea and your results, there is a huge amount of work, huge amount of like time that you spend on doing some things and not like going out, not like, whatever. So that's always about that. So I would say you always have to try, you always have to test, and yeah, take risks, because it's always about taking risks, right? Because you can basically lose this money. You can lose this 5 10K easily, and but you will learn. You will definitely learn. So yeah, I would say that's that's
And
that's my kind of piece of advice, because yeah, I think that's crucial. You need to start doing something, some actions on
yeah,
the way between concept and like idea and like the product or service.
thank you, Ivan. I think unless Ante want to say something, but I think thank you a lot, Ivan, for this, and we can also slowly wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, where can people follow you? Where can do you share this publicly? I know you're not selling courses, and I hope you keep it like that. Like keep it keep it genuine. But where can people follow you?
Yeah, well, basically I don't sell any courses. I don't give any consultations or this kind of stuff. Well, probably like a not sure if I yeah. I simply, to be honest, I simply don't have enough time to think about like any other cases, any other products, even with my experience and vision. But yeah, I think we can attach my Instagram in the description. So yeah, and people can
Yeah.
Or
follow me there.
people can know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
product that's only for Canada. Yeah, we can put some links.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you everyone who watched, and thank you Ante for coming, and Eva, really that's really insightful. And like, subscribe guys to this channel. And if you're one of your friends who wants to build an e-com website or is thinking about e-com, wants some insight, share this link with them. And yeah, catch up next week. We're gonna have also another great guest next week, and we're gonna keep producing quality content. So thank you guys. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Ante.
Thank you.